Hey everybody, welcome back to Trio Planet, the channel we talk all things media. How is everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. And today we are here with another Last of Us episode review. As always, I am joined by the one, the only, the God among men, Astral.
I mean, I take that introduction. I do. Very godly indeed.
I'm trying to name the fucking intro. But yeah, we're with another Last of Us episode. And as always, this episode was titled, I don't remember.
I'm sure it was titled something.
So yeah, this episode was episode 4 of the show. Definitely an episode that was good. It was definitely actually trying to search the fucking episode. The episode title was called A Long, Long Time.
Yes.
Kind of funny, cause actually, wait a minute.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't.
no, it wasn't.
That was last episode.
Oh. Please hold my hand. There you go.
That is the correct one.
So yeah, this episode was called "Please Hold My Hand." But yeah, as always, will do a Astro will do a breakdown of the episode to tell you what happened, just the bare basics, and then we'll get into our thoughts. So, Will, go ahead.
So, this episode opens after Joel and Ellie have been to Bill and Frank's compound. They got a car, got a lot of guns, a lot of bullets. Life's pretty good. Joel now has a bolt-action rifle, which is, in-game accurate, rather than the assault rifle he was carrying around for the first fucking 3 episodes.
But you can't bring that up anymore.
I'm still going to, man. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. What were they thinking? Ellie points the pistol that she sneakily stole from Bill and Frank's house at herself in the mirror for some reason. Fully loaded, I might add. And then she unloads it and then points at herself and actually pulls the trigger. This girl has got issues, right?
She straight up just shoots the dude.
Goes outside. Joel's sucking gasoline out of cars because it breaks down over time, and it's been 20 years since anyone actually made gasoline.
So at least they're showing that gas is very disappearing.
Joel and Ellie are going into Kansas City this episode, which, if you've played the games, you know is one of the bigger shootouts, one of the bigger action set pieces of the entire game. They get into a shootout with a bunch of holdouts who have basically taken over a QZ from Fedra in Kansas City, and the woman who's leading them is sort of loco. She's sort of a little bit insane. She shoots a guy, dead ass, just shoots a guy.
Yeah, we don't even see her do it. Like, she walks up to a thing and just shoots.
She's looking for Henry, who, if you've played the game, you probably remember Henry. You probably know what happens in the next few episodes, because I doubt it's going to change that much. Joel and Ellie get into a shootout with a bunch of people. Joel almost fucking dies.
Cool.
Ellie shoots a guy. They have a little heart-to-heart about that, and Joel's like, "You shouldn't have had to," and Ellie was like, "Yeah, I've fucking done it before, you stupid bastard." So Joel lets her keep the gun and gives her a few pointers of, how not to shoot herself.
Yeah, I think she tries to put it behind her. He goes, "You'll shoot your ass off."
And Yeah, episode sort of ends with Joel and Ellie being taken hostage by Henry and I believe his name is Sam, the little kid.
Yep.
That's basically the episode. There wasn't much story in this episode.
No, it was just a lot of action-packed stuff. I think after last episode, which was like very emotional, I feel like having this episode be actiony works. Just to have a bit more of a break from the depressing side of shit. Even though Ellie shooting a guy and being upset about it was depressing.
Yeah.
You know, how depressing this show gets later on. But
I have a feeling it's going to be pretty depressing.
yeah, definitely.
But apart from really that, there's not much more like story significant things that did happen, other than they're being hunted now, which leads directly into the next episode. That is sort of it. Like the story beats for that episode. It was sort of a here's your little bit of info, here's your action, see you next week for a more impactful episode.
I feel like having episodes where they break away from doing too much of the action, like from obviously I don't mind that. I feel like them doing episodes where they do break away from doing the whole story aspect, it works.
Yeah, I think that the idea that they went for this was a little bit different from the game.
Yeah.
Like the area they crashed in is different. The ambush is a little bit different. So all of that is sort of different. Like in the game, it's not Joel getting choked that makes Ellie shoot someone. I think it's Joel's head being pushed towards a shard of glass on a broken, like the refrigerator units that you get in those American convenience stores, like big
Yeah, I
standing
think
up
it was a
ones.
laundromat. This
It's his head's getting pushed
just
towards a
minor
shard of
changes,
water.
not big changes.
No, definitely less changes than last episode. Last episode had a lot of changes. This one was like, we'll change a few things, but only a few things to make it make slightly more sense.
Obviously, because if you're gonna do that's the thing. If you're gonna do an adaptation like this, that's the thing with adaptations. It's an adaptation. It's not gonna be a straight up thing. It's not gonna go the way you really completely want it to go. So really, I feel like they did the best that they. I feel like they did the best with what they were given.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. I think the way that they're setting up the actual climax of the show is very nice. The relationship between Ellie and Joel is being surprisingly more
I'm waiting
explained,
for it.
even though you like sit and play with Ellie and Joel for the entire game. You expect that the show wouldn't make you feel as connected to the characters, but in a way it makes you feel more connected because you see the in between moments when you're not shooting a guy in the face.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to mention the whole book joke thing.
Listen, I'm trying to purge it from my mind, right? That was the most annoying shit in the game. It'd be super serious, and you'd accidentally press triangle, and Elliot'd be like, "Hey, what do you call a scarecrow who's good at his job? What is he?" And it's like he's outstanding in his field. Oh, look at you, Ellie. I can hate that book so much. And she pulled it out of nowhere
You
as
just
well.
happened to have it on her.
It just appeared. But, it was fine. The last joke was funny.
The last one was, to be honest.
But it's the same jokes that are in the game, so I've already heard them.
I think
I've heard them
I
so
only
many
laughed at
times.
the last one because I think hearing Joel like laugh was really fucking funny. Like hearing him laugh at things was wholesome, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if they overdo it like it was done in the game, it's gonna get really, really annoying.
Mm, yeah,
But
but it's
if
not
it's
really that
tempered,
overdone.
in the show, then do I have anything else like story wise? Any other inaccuracies to point out? Any other shitty jokes to make fun of? No, I think that's basically
That's
it.
all I've got to say. There's nothing
It
really
was a
much to
pretty
say.
standard episode.
Yeah, we got to see
It's a bit
some
strange.
in between parts of characters, and like even in the game, if you stick with Joel and Ellie, even but in this, you get to see other characters and how they're dealing with it, like the people who are chasing after them. You get to see their story and what they're doing on the game. But here it's like, it's more drawn out. And
Yeah,
I'm loving that each episode, to me, each episode is at a length that feels appropriate, that feels like
yeah,
it should be that length. So like
yeah,
they're really only doing episodes certain lengths when it is needed for the story they want to tell. So I feel like first episode did that really well. Last episode did, and yeah, TV shows sometimes don't know when to, and I feel like there's no filler either. They're not doing filler at all. It
yeah,
I feel like a lot of shows they do a lot of filler um episodes just to get their episode count, but I feel like no, there's not really any filler whatsoever.
yeah. I think that's because all of the filler is not noticeable if you're a show watcher and not a game player. If you're a game player, you sort of realize they're giving us more exposition instead of this action scene.
Mm.
But it's not really been something where I've been like, oh, I really wish that we'd been given, this fight scene because this fight scene was super cool in the game because you never know how it's going to translate to actual uh, TV. Because in the game they can make the characters do literally anything, and in the show they're bound by the laws of physics.
Yeah, stuff from games can't um translate to TV or film. So you have to really um change stuff.
It was why the Uncharted film was so strange because you had a scene where Nathan Drake, Tom Holland was climbing up crates like you do in the game while they're hanging out the back of a plane, going at hundreds of miles per hour, thousands of
We
miles
get
per
it,
hour.
it's an adaptation and they want to add stuff from the
They want
games.
to do
But in live action, in a movie, it doesn't work. It doesn't look
yeah.
right. In a game, it's a game.
In a game, you suspend your
But in a
disbelief.
film and TV, some things have to look real.
If you're doing, especially if you're doing something that isn't fantastical, like House of the Dragon, you can suspend my disbelief as much as I want.
Yeah,
It's a fantasy
it's a
show.
fantasy show. In sci-fi, in fantasy or stuff like that, you can get rid of You've got to suspend your disbelief, but
When something looks like it's real, and when something is portrayed as being, oh look, these are real people doing these very real things, hunting this treasure, you sort of sit there and you think, um, is this really the best that it
because in
could
a
be?
show
Like
like this,
how?
something like this could happen. So it's like,
Yeah.
but you've also got to think about it. If something like this can happen, and then you see something that can't happen in real life, it's like, okay, so why did that work and this didn't, and stuff like that. And that's how
Especially
that
though,
works.
like, why didn't it work thing.
Yeah.
Because the more you ask an audience to suspend their disbelief, the more they're going to sit there and go, but why is this happening like this?
Yeah. But I don't really have anything
trying to
else.
think if there's literally anything else to like point out or to bring up in regards to the show. But I think that's sort of it.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the more fun part. What are you thinking for the rating for this episode?
I like this episode a lot more than the last one.
Yeah.
Like, the last episode was depressing as and I like the last episode.
Much more light-hearted, this one.
I'd say I'd have to give this an 8. An 8.
Yeah,
An 8.2.
I'm sort of in
an
the
8.
same boat as well.
Yeah, an 8. Around
I
an
was
8.
thinking an 8.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it's more forgiving than the like, because the last one changed pretty much the entire part of the game into a flashback sequence, which sort of felt disconnected. This one was very proactive, and I very much did enjoy the proactiveness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think an 8 is like a very, very fair rating.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, an 8 then. But anything else?
No, that is about it that I can think to bring up.
Right, everybody, we hope you have been enjoying these reviews of the shows and all that. Obviously, we recorded the day they come. So, yeah, we are excited to see where things are for this week for shows and everything. Don't forget to, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Go to the links down below. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode and our review of Bad Batch as well, which we'll be reviewing the next one on Wednesday. But yeah, we're excited to see what other shows come out this year that we can review. And yeah, hope everybody did enjoy. I have been one of your hosts, Slasher.
I've been your other host, Azteral.
And we will see you all later. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
We get 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them. It's over, Anakin!